when the bunny stops beating its drum. So yes, this video is about when there is no more power to operate all the gadgetry you have come to depend on and enslave you in your daily lives. A heavy snowfall, an ice storm, strong winds, lightning strikes, a tornado. These are just some of the many events of inclement weather that might cause your power to go out. Each of these present varying levels of difficulty for the power company to restore, and though thousands of homes might be affected and out of power for as much as a couple of weeks, at some point the lights come back on and life returns to normal. Most people can sit out even the worst of these outages and live to tell humorous tales later. But what if something happens and the power isn't restored? What if it's not just your neighborhood or your town or city? What if the whole region or quite possibly your whole national power grid goes down? What if your neighbor who has one of those little shortwave receivers frantically pounds on your front door and tells you that he heard that blah 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 has happened and the power isn't coming back on ever? This scenario seems an eventuality that in 2016 is all too plausible. So what's your plan? You know, that little list of things you and your family will do if you find yourselves in the dark. I know you have a plan, right? Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and surely you care enough about young Timmy and Judy to have a solid plan to make sure they survive. No plan? Okay, maybe this will help. 1. Understand the ramifications about a grid-down power outage. People tend to act pretty irrational when they are scared, and the power going down gets people pretty scared. The first part of your plan should be an alternative location for you and your family, as far away from people who might mean you harm. Now, before something like this happens, is the time to ask sweet Aunt Sally, who lives on a farm in the country, if you can plan to come and stay with her if things get weird. You can offer her something in exchange, like added security for her. There are plenty of videos out there explaining the best things to pack, so I won't be redundant here. Just be smart about it. And if you are an accountant or a salesperson in a clothing store where you fold ties and shirts all day, don't expect to become an instant Rambo just because you went out and bought an AR-15 and 10,000 rounds of ammo to keep zombies off the front porch. It doesn't work that way. A weapon only keeps you safe if you know how to use it and are trained in military tactics. I know you've seen a lot of movies, but remember that all those people blown away by a thunderous assault rifle blasting hundreds of rounds into them without melting down walk away and go home at night because they are just actors and stuntmen, and Hollywood isn't real. The next part of your plan is to research all the ways you can get fresh water, a steady food supply, and first aid or medicine for each member of your family. There are non-electrical water pumps, and there are many ways to generate electricity using mechanical devices. My personal favorite is the alternator out of the nearest old car. There is also wind, solar, and water for this purpose. You know, all those alternative sources we should have been making over the last 30 years. 3. As far as pre-planning goes, it makes a lot of sense to have methods of providing food already in place before such a catastrophe happens. You are not going to be able to go to the sporting goods section of your local Walmart for a post-apocalyptic survival kit and suddenly be content that it's all going to be okay. In fact, I would suggest staying as far away from Walmart as possible, if you catch my drift. So back to food. You might want to drive out to Aunt Sally's one weekend and set up an aquaponics system next to her barn and have that in full swing long before the cell phones stop working. Aunt Sally will love you for it too, because she has dreamed about finally becoming a vegetarian ever since Uncle Fred died 6 years ago. Many people believe they will be able to hunt for food with their shiny new rifle, and every day they will bring in nature's bounty like great-grandpa used to do. Here's a little hint for you. That might work if you hunt in the local zoo and carry some bolt cutters with you. Otherwise, the local woods are going to look like opening day of deer season all the time, non-stop, and an orange vest will mark you as professional competition to be eliminated as fast as a level 3 blood elf lost in Northrend. 4. The final point I will make in this video is the need for each member of your family to have a specific duty in each area of daily life. When it comes to emergency security, everyone knows where to go and what to do, kind of like battle stations on a ship. The division of labor is essential in keeping things secure and running smooth towards long-term survival. Then be community-minded. Expand that secure unit to the local area. Aunt Sally will know who to and who not to trust. From that, you form a community of people pledged to help each other. This is not some far-out strange concept. It is the way America was when America was at its best. No electricity, and life was simpler, more peaceful, and better. You know who will do best in this scenario? The Amish, and folks like them, who already detest technology and what it has done to modern society. They are the ones who will best survive. So there you go. Some ideas on how to plan and what you might start planning for. There is an old Chinese proverb that states, "The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time is now." You don't have to get all caught up in the endless conspiracies and become a ball of stressed out nerves living in total fear. You simply use your head, keep calm, and make a sensible plan that works for you. This is Rhinocus. Freedom is still a choice. So how will you avoid the narcissist system?